The show.
The show.
Show business.
Show business. It's that show business. Show business. It's that show business.
What's up, everybody? I'm going to go ahead and get started. We got people coming in, so I wanted to wait just a little bit longer for people to come in. But I'm so excited about tonight's live and who I'm bringing on. So I want to just get things popping and get things dropping immediately. You are here at Show Business Live with Shonique Sneed. You can check out some of my previous show business podcasts on any place where podcasts are listened to. My last Show Business Live was with Luther Brown last week, and that is up on YouTube if you didn't get a chance to listen or check that one out. But today, I have a very, very, very special guest joining me on Show Business Live, and that is my BFF. She is a dancer, choreographer, she's a director, she's an artist. She is a trained chef, certified holistic coach, a wife, a mother of two amazing little munchkins, my babies. And she has danced for and choreographed for some of the most amazing gigs and iconic people ever. I mean, Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, Madonna, just to name a few. But yeah, basically, I want to bring on my girl, one and only Miss Lisette Bustamante.
What's up? How's it going? Cheers.
Hey!
Oh man.
Can't play too many of that because you know how Instagram is.
Oh, it'll cut you off. It'll cut you off, right? Oh goodness.
Exactly. But I definitely got to get in a little bit because, I mean, that song right there. First off, hi. Welcome. Hey, boo.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to Show Business Live. Yay, Lisette, my bestie. Okay, well, first off, cheers.
Cheers
For being here. Cheers.
Yes, thank you for having me. This is fun.
We've got a lot to cover, and we've got people that got a lot of questions. But we're just for you guys to know. My bestie's here. She's gonna answer all the questions that you would like to know. So I think, but we're gonna save those for the end.
So I'm gonna answer
She's gonna drink. She's gonna
honestly,
drink.
okay?
Hey, Heffa's in here. Randy's in here. Lauren. Asiel's already asking about best kept secret. You guys, we're gonna do a different live. Lisette, you're gonna have to come back so we can talk about our own stuff because that's a whole different live with me and you.
That's like a series.
That's a damn series. Exactly.
That's a series.
We'll come back for that one. But today
Exactly.
I just want to talk about my girl Lisette and her evolution. And we're in a crazy time right now. And I think everybody is just looking for something to feel inspired or to connect or just to be, And so these lives have been a survival kit for some of us, you know what I mean?
Totally.
With verses and, all the different lives. But bringing you on, first off, I just wanted to have you introduce yourself as in a way that maybe we don't know. Like I know you, so today is about letting everyone know maybe things that they don't know about you. So full name
already? We just started.
Already. Yeah, we have just started, but it's gonna, trust me, we got a lot to cover. So the first thing we got to do is at least let them know where you're from, hometown, full name, and give them a little that part.
Okay, well, my full name is Lisette Bustamante. That's it. Pretty, like, people go, what's your middle name? I'm like, don't have one. Kind of glad I don't have one because it'd be a lot of letters and a lot of things. But, so Lisette Bustamante, I was born in Hollywood, California, if you didn't know. Like, just, I haven't left. I'm still here.
Absolutely.
So I was born in Hollywood, California, and I'm a Valley girl, guys. I literally am still in the Valley. I moved around a bit, but I'm back here, and I'm a total Valley girl, born and raised, LA, like you show. We're like the only LA natives that are.
I know, right?
It's crazy.
There's a couple
People are
more,
like,
but
"Oh,
yeah.
where are you guys from?" We're like, LA.
LA.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a mom.
Valley
I'm
girl.
a wife. Like everything you said. If you missed it, just I'm an explorer of all things.
Yes, you are. We're gonna break all those things down too.
Yes.
So where did you go to? You went, so everybody knows Lisette's a Valley girl. Where'd you go to school? Like, what were your interests? Who were you in school? Who was Lisette in high school?
So I'll just I'm gonna try and give you a quick background. You can like tell me if I'm talking too much, because
Absolutely.
It's the only adult talking I get to do most of the day. It's mostly like baby talk and
Absolutely.
So yeah, I was born and raised here. My dad was born in Venezuela, Caracas. My mom is she was born in New York, but she's Puerto Rican. So I'm half Puerto Rican and half Venezuelan. They actually met. My dad was he sang in a salsa band. He still sings in a salsa band. He's 78.
Yes, he does. Your dad is lit.
But they met at a club. My mom was dancing salsa, and they fell in love, and here I am. And so music and dance it was always around, because my dad would have band practice, and it was just very lively at my house all the time. So yeah, I grew up very close to music and dance, and just like a lot of energy. My family has a lot of energy, and they're very loud and expressive.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I was always that girl who just kind of, anytime music would come on, I would move, and that was just instinctual to me. I think it was just like a genetic thing, and I fell in love with it very early on. I started teaching myself to dance by watching, Michael Jackson on recordings, VHS, and like rewinding and pausing it and like learning the move, and that's how I kind of taught myself to dance. And then in school, I would just dance with my friends. Really, it was just kind of like, I didn't grow up in any kind of trained environment. I didn't grow up doing any conventions. I didn't go to a dance studio when I was little. I taught myself and just watched the greats, and that's kind of how I learned. And then in high school, that's when I learned that I could go take a hip hop class at a dance studio. So a really good friend of mine, Jason Landa, who's one of my best friends.
Shout out Jason.
Yeah, shout out Jason. We went and took a dance class. We actually took a jazz class, and it was freaking hilarious, because I had no idea what a technical thing was, and I wore socks, and they were like, "Okay, now we're gonna go across the floor," and I was like,
"You just went in,"
and I just like ran across the floor. But I kind of fell into it and found that I love dance through just kind of being exposed to the environment. And I was a cheerleader in high school.
Yes.
Cheerleading captain, and would make up all these, these dances and these sets and this choreography, and kind of try to take my high school to another level. But it was just always around. And then cut to me, getting ready to graduate high school, when I kind of found dance, was at Mora Landis.
And we're about to get
to that.
And we're about to get to that. So stop right there.
Okay,
this is perfect.
So yeah.
This is perfect.
Great.
Right here.
Yeah.
Valley girl, cheerleader, song leader. Jason Landau took her to her first dance class. She fell in love, natural, no training at that point, right? And just doing what you love, watching Michael Jackson. And we would tell people too, when we choreograph, they'd be like, "How do we get to dance?" We'd be like, "Start with Michael Jackson, and then, go down from there."
Go down the line.
And go from there.
Go down the line. I still watch Michael Jackson. I play Michael Jackson all day for my kids, and my son is obsessed already.
And Rowan's already doing the moonwalk.
He already did the moonwalk. He's 2.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite segments in this, is asking people about their hometown and what music kind of reminds them of home. And I asked you what music kind of reminds you of home, and this right here is something that just
that's my man, forever and ever and ever. You hear me? Forever.
Okay,
Oh.
so here's what's really cool though, you guys. I'm gonna play little snippets, just enough to get through, and then you guys go afterwards and then play all the songs that I played with your people and drink and tag us.
Perfect. Love
New
it.
game.
That's a new
Okay,
game.
so
Just
tell us
invented.
exactly. Tell us, Lisette, because I already know your Prince mode. So you tell
Junkie,
everybody.
like junkie for real. Okay, so funny enough, I wonder if my aunt's watching. She's probably on watching this.
Lisa is. She
Lisa.
just gave a thumbs up.
Awesome.
Hi,
Yeah. Okay, so my aunt Lisa I was very close to her growing up, and she was a very big Prince fan, and I became in love with Prince at like age 6 and 7, which is quite young to be in love with Prince, but I
Hell
was
yeah.
exposed to all of his music, and I remember watching him the first time on a show called Solid Gold. You guys can Google it, YouTube it.
Solid gold.
I literally remember being with my mom, and they announced this guy named Prince who was going to perform on Solid Gold, and I watched that show all the time because they had dancers and musical acts. It was awesome. Yeah, I'm old. I'm telling you guys my age by saying
exactly. Yeah. Well, now you're aging me
really,
too, because I'm like solid gold.
Yeah, it's so good. So I remember watching him perform, and I'm like mouth open, like, who is this person? And he's just like changed my life. Not because he was just, I mean, he was just all things. He was all the things. He was a musician. He was a performer. He was mysterious. Like, I didn't quite understand what he was doing, but I was into it.
Hell yeah.
And from that point on, it was all about Prince. I went and bought all, you know, the Prince buttons. My jacket was covered in Prince buttons. At 7, I would come to school with Prince on my jacket, Prince in my backpack. I mean, kids were like, who is that? And they just wanted to play on the yard. And I'm like, talking about Prince. So that to me was like my childhood.
Right.
Like Prince and Michael Jackson. But musically, like my artist is like, it's Prince. Like
yeah, that's your artist.
And my aunt, because that's what we listen to.
I love it. I mean, and Prince, man.
Yeah.
That's a different episode, right?
The different episode is the night that I met Prince for the first time. We'll talk about that later.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Exactly.
Everything, all of it, yes.
Okay, so now we're just gonna have to skip to your first dance gig. Let's move to, your high school, you're graduating, Morelandis. Let's shout out Morelandis, which is now Millennium.
You guys don't know what Morelandis is.
Break it down, Morelandis is why I know this woman right here.
That's how we met. And number one, Morelandis is the original Millennium. Before it was Millennium, it was Morelandis.
Yep.
And it was on Ventura Boulevard in Vineland. It was a tiny little kind of broke down studio, but that was the place where everybody went. And that was my home, and that was Shonique's home. And yeah, so that's where I started. So I started, so I found out there was a work study program. I started taking class, obviously, in high school because I got exposed to it. So I was like 16, 17. And then I started on the work study program where I would just like clean cigarette butts and restock the toilet paper and like, you know, clean the gum. I remember I used to like clean the gum that was stuck on the sidewalk in front of the entrance. It was very glamorous. Very glamorous. And but I would get free classes. Right?
I was about to say, but you got that training though.
Yeah, I got the training. So I was there all day, every day. And that's how we met. We met later on. But initially, I was at the front desk. This is like kind of crazy story because people were like, how did you get started dancing? It was kind of a fluke, to be honest, because I didn't realize I could make a living dancing. I just loved it. It was just pure passion. And I was getting ready to go to college. I was already like kind of submitting papers, and I was going to stay in California, but I was getting ready to go to school. And I was working the front desk, and Dave Scott,
shout out Dave.
Dave Scott came with like a whole posse and was holding an open audition for a group called Immature, an R&B group called Girl, crazy. That was the first video, dude, and that was our first time meeting each other. You're in that video too. You guys, if you want to laugh right now, this is a sidebar. We need like something to like push over and then the videos to come up. Google Immature. We got it. That was my first music video. That was not yours. probably.
No, it wasn't mine, but it was our first music video together.
Yes.
And we're 150 years old, right? Each of us in that
Yes.
video.
Okay, so really quick, backtrack. So I'm at the front desk, right? Working my shift. Dave Scott comes in with like 20 people. It's like very glamorous. I'm like this little 17-year-old girl who's just like, oh my God. And I used to take Wade Robson's class back in the day, and Wade was there, and he came down. He was like, you need to go audition for whatever Dave is doing. And I was like, I've never auditioned before.
Right.
I'm not doing that. That's scary, whatever. And he was like, Lisette, go up there and audition. You've taken enough class, just go audition. So the manager let me go. And I went up and I learned the combo and auditioned and like left the room. And then I got called back in by it was your cousin Saba, and then our other friend who now lives in Japan, Aya, who was my best friend at the time too. A bunch of us got called back in. I was like, oh, I got called back in. So I got to dance with actually those two girls. They called me and put the three of us together, and they're like, okay, can you guys start rehearsing next week? And I was like, so yeah, fluke, you guys. Like, this doesn't happen really, but for me, like, I kind of just went and auditioned and just like went out on a limb, and I went out and got a job dancing for Immature. That was my first gig. I was 17 years old.
My God, we got to shout out Immature, because Immature basically, like, to be honest, they kind of started our whole journeys in different ways. Dave Scott, Keisha.
Yeah, Dave Scott.
Dave and Keisha. All of them. Dave and Keisha kind of put us on in that one and that whole world. Damn, Immature. So shout that whole crew out. Okay, so now I want to jump into your top gigs, because we could go on for a documentary of everything. So tonight we're just gonna hit all the bullet points.
Okay.
So I was talking to you. We're gonna stay on. No, but we're gonna go for it, because the one thing I do want to make sure that, like how you just brought up Immature and how you were at Morelandis and work study, like that's the kind of stuff that people need to know. Like, you put in, you look cute. My
hairstyle looks on right now. She's like, your hair looks good, girl.
It looks cute.
Guys, I haven't washed this thing. I told Shonique, I was like, my hair is in a mom bun every single day.
Yep, you did.
I'm gonna bring the curls out for you today. I'm gonna try.
And I'm so happy you did, because those curls, girl, have been booked and blessed for 20 years. Like,
girl,
dead ass. Hi everybody, love you. We're gonna say questions for the end. Hi guys, Sienna, and who else was on there? I think Luther joined. My mom. Hi guys.
Your mom, my aunt, family's here.
Sienna. Oh, Sienna just said yes, curls for the girls, honey.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about your biggest, your three top gigs. And I would like to go into a time of just your biggest dream come true. And I'm gonna have everybody Google and YouTube these memories. Those curls are famous, somebody just said. Hey.
Oh man, what a time of my life. Dreams do come true, you guys. Like, honestly, okay,
break
so
break that whole thing down. Janet Jackson.
It's just crazy.
Break it down,
because,
please.
like I said, like, it was Michael Jackson, was Prince, but like dance-wise, Janet, of course. I used to idolize all the Janet dancers, the previous Janet dancers, and like Tina Landon. Those were idolized. Like, I memorized every step from every freaking performance. And it was my dream in life to dance for Janet Jackson. And I remember I was already dancing at the time with a couple different people, and I had auditioned for Janet, and I got down to the very end and I didn't get it. And I was just like, okay, it's not time. It's not going to happen for me. And I remember being so close to it that I was kind of devastated. I was like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it sucked, because that was it. Everybody has their person on the list. It's like that check mark. If that happens, you're like, I've done it, right?
Yep,
so she was that on me for sure. And after that audition, I remember coming down like pretty sick and just like kind of being in the dumps. But I was also sick. Like, I caught a bad cold or I had a flu. And at the time, I had been taking a lot of class with Marty Kudelka. I used to dance with him a lot. I used to take class religiously, and I had done a couple gigs with him, and he called me randomly out of the blue, and he was like, "Hey, Lisette," he was like, "So I want to see if you're available because we have this Janet gig we're doing." You know how Marty is.
Yeah.
He's real like
Hi,
nonchalant
Marty.
about
He's not in
cool
the
about
cool
things,
as hell.
you know.
Cool.
He's like, yeah, we have this gig, you know, we're working with Janet now, and you know, so this girl who was dancing, she booked
Casually.
another job and she couldn't do it, and he's like, "Can you come in because you learn really fast?" And I was like,
Shut. And
"Shut
just like
up."
that.
Yes, exactly. So I'll
How
never
long have you
forget.
been dancing? How long have you been
At
dancing?
this
And how?
point, I mean, I've been dancing for a minute.
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah.
I was, you know, I was in my like, well, early 20s. I started when I was 17 professionally.
Right.
Like once I started at 17, it kind of spiraled. And so by the time I was in my early, like mid 20s, it was about that time, like mid 20s. So I'd been dancing a little bit, but not Janet.
No, hell no.
So I remember walking into the old Alley Cat. Y'all know about Alley Cat
Yep.
Studios in Hollywood. That was the place where
Absolutely.
everybody would rehearse. It was
Yes, it
it
was.
was a magical
A
rehearsal
magical
studio.
place. And shout out June for that, right?
June from Alley Cat. Yeah. So
June.
I remember walking in to like being so nervous to walk in because everybody knew the choreography pretty much. Like it was like, which is like, this is an ongoing story for me in my life. Everybody had called me for so many jobs to come in and learn it like the day before.
Right.
The day. So that's what it was. And I came in and I walked in the door, and Janet was like literally sitting on the floor as I walked in, and she was like, "Hi," you know, she has a very like soft demeanor, and I didn't even realize it was her because she looked like one of the dancers, and I literally almost shit my pants. Like I was so I didn't even know what to say. It's just like my moment of revelation had happened, and it was like, damn, this is cool. And so it ended up being a really cool experience just being in the room. She was awesome. Everybody was awesome. I was with some other very incredible dancers that I looked up to for so like Kelly Kono. I was watching and like it was just really cool. And so I did a bunch of stuff with Janet. I did the Icon with Janet, which was so
amazing.
Fun. That was probably one of my best memories. And then the VMAs, and I went to Europe and toured with her and did a bunch of stuff. So that was a dream come true.
A total dream come true. Like she said, dreams come true, y'all. So just break that part down for me. Hi, Lou. Lou said he's up in here. He said, "Mama June. Yep, changed my life, that performance." Sienna just said, "Changed that life, my life."
Mine too, girl.
That performance. So you guys, if you're going to look that up, that's the MTV Icon performance from Janet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys go ahead and look that up. Favorite performances. I mean, unbelievable.
Hey, Saab.
Hey, Saab. So let's move into, you know, another one of both of our favorite artists. And it was, I'm sure, probably the most memorable experience that you was able to experience in this career, you know?
Same. Okay, I can tell you right now, like every time this song comes on, I feel like I want to cry right now, and I immediately get goosebumps, chills through my body. It's crazy.
Okay.
Woo!
First, I mean, you know, Aaliyah. First word that comes to you when you hear that, like you said, chills, you know. Angel. Yes, Angel.
She, you know, I've worked with a lot of people.
Angel.
A lot of people, like, and you know, you get your people who are, you get your divas, you get your people who are living on another cloud, and you get people that are very grounded. And to me, she was just like a girl I would hang out with. She was so approachable, so personable, so real. She was freaking funny. Like you would never think that Aaliyah was like a clown, but she was
she's a clown.
Like,
oh wow,
she was like an undercover. Like she's so cool on the outside. She was so cool and like kind of mysterious, you know. but when you got to know her, hysterical. But so yeah, at the time I was working with Fatima a lot, and same thing happened. Same thing as Janet.
Yeah.
They were rehearsing for Try Again, and it was supposed to be just guys in the video. So Try Again was just to be all those guys. It was like Punch, Goof, Roro, you know, Eddie. It was all Mike Andrews. It was supposed to be all guys. Jerry Slaughter's in that too, y'all.
Oh wow. Damn, Jerry.
And I guess what had happened is they had been rehearsing for a week, and Aaliyah, you know, Fatima was very tight with Aaliyah. That's how Aaliyah developed her style, through Fatima.
Right.
And Fatima was feeling the song so hard, and Aaliyah was like, I want you to dance. I want you to dance. She's like, well, I can't just dance like me and all these guys. She's like, I need to get another girl. So she called me out of the blue and was like, all right, so there's the song, it's bomb, it's Try Again, it's Aaliyah. They've been rehearsing for a week. We're going to shoot it in 2 days. I need you to come and learn this choreography with me, because you and me are going to dance on the side of her. And I was like, hell yeah. And then she sent me the song, and I was like, hell yeah. Because that song, when that song came out, you guys, I mean, being in rehearsal with that music and with those dancers and with Swoop and doing these moves, like, it was one of my most favorite experiences. So that was really cool. So I started working with Aaliyah a little bit more, and I did a bunch of promo stuff. I toured with her, did all that stuff. And then, of course, Rock the Boat, the opportunity for Rock the Boat came, and Fatima called, and of course, I was like, yes. And it was just like a bunch of really talented females, and it sounded like the job, when she told me on the phone what it sounded like, was like a dream come true. She said, okay, so we're going to rehearse here a little bit, and then we're going to fly to Miami, and we're going to shoot part of the video in Miami on a green screen, and then we're going to fly to this very small island on a private jet to the Bahamas and shoot there for 4 or 5 days.
Woo!
So, and this was at the time where we had budget. Like,
absolutely,
videos were multi-million-dollar budgets, where they don't do that anymore. So it was Hype Williams, and
wow.
So yeah, so we did that. So we all got in rehearsal. We flew to Miami. Carmit was my roommate once we got to the Bahamas, and the crazy thing about the Rock the Boat experience is you never really get a chance to bond that much with other dancers for that long period of time.
Exactly.
As well as the artists. Like, I remember being in the Bahamas rehearsing. We'd have like an hour rehearsal. We'd be rehearsing in our bikinis.
Oh my God, that's so bomb.
We were riding scooters and mopeds. We were at night on the beach, sitting in circles, looking at the stars, talking, all of us, the crew, the dancers, Aaliyah. It was like insane, the opportunity and just the experience of being there. And we all got really tight.
Yeah. Name the dancers so they know who was a part.
I mean, I can't, off the top
Were
of
you,
my head,
Carmit, Nadine, Binky?
Binky,
okay, you,
Nadine,
Carmit,
Thomasina,
Ebony Nichols, yes.
Who else?
Binky, Leslie, Carmit.
Yep.
Yeah, we said
I'm old,
Ebony.
y'all. My memory is like,
yeah, we said Ebony already, but yes,
like,
Jesus.
Danash.
Yes, Danash.
Wayne,
Yes, Luther. Yes, Danash. Leslie. Yeah, we said Leslie.
Like,
Binky and Leslie. Thomasina.
It was crazy. It was like
Jesus.
Teresa. If you guys
yes,
know
Teresa.
She's Puerto Rican from New York, and we just got super tight. And like the crazy thing is, we shot all this footage, right? We shot Miami. We shot stuff. We didn't shoot anything yet in the Bahamas. Really, when we were in the Bahamas, Aaliyah was shooting all that stuff on the beach when the sun was coming up, and she's wearing the red hat.
Oh my God, the opening scene.
Yeah, and then the stuff that she did in the pool, the underwater.
Yes, the underwater. Jesus, yeah.
So she was doing all of that, and we were just like literally hanging out, and had a couple of rehearsals. And then the last day of the shoot, we were to board this huge yacht that they chartered for the day, and Hype was going to shoot us from a helicopter. And that's the dance stuff that you see on the boat. He was going to shoot us from a helicopter. He was super excited about it. It was going to be epic. We were on this humongous yacht, and we were in the middle of the ocean, and it was kind of like, when do you get to do that, you know? And we shot all day. I remember it being extremely hot. And when we finished,
And this was in the Bahamas.
this was in the Bahamas, Abaco Island. Yeah. So we, you know, yeah, that was our last, it was our last shoot day.
Okay.
And so we got all of the footage, we wrapped, and then we all were very tired, dancing in the sun all day.
Damn.
We were sitting on the yacht, and I'll never forget, it was kind of like Aaliyah was like ready to go. She was like trying to go, and then they were all talking about, okay, we're gonna get a boat to come pick some people up, whoever wants to leave early. And it ended up being, I remember, like, I ended up, it's crazy because I, like, you forget a lot of things that happen, but like these moments are so clear for me. I remember like sitting next to this woman who worked at the record company, and she was like taking a nap, and she got up and she was like, I'm going, I want to go home. She was ready. So she got on the boat, and I remember everybody that just went to that boat, and those were the people that boarded that plane. So yeah, so I'll never forget, they left. I have a picture of them saying goodbye. They all boarded the plane. They were going to try and take off before the sun went down because...
Is that the picture that's on the boat? I'm sorry to interject, but is that the picture where you see them people on the boat and they're all saying it's like their last...
Yes, we were all saying that we had all spent so many days together, you know, and we all bonded. It was just, it was pretty crazy. Like, and little did we know, you know, what was going to happen. But I remember thinking, God, like, they're getting on a plane, and, you know, we were too tired. All the dancers decided we were going to go, we were going to stay and leave together the next day. And then the wardrobe stylist, who usually traveled with the hairstylist and the makeup artist, stayed. And his name was Derek. He used to style everybody. He stayed. And I remember looking, he's like, I have too much stuff, y'all. You guys, I'll catch up with you later. And he stayed. And then they went. Anyways, we all kind of fell asleep. And then the crazy thing that happened on that boat ride was, like, we all woke up and we put on this music and we all just started dancing around. After dancing all day, we just had like this beautiful dance party, and the wind was blowing, and we were all like, in the zone and just like living, so like full out living our lives, you know. And then I'm telling the story because I feel like it's so important. And tell me about it. No,
go, please, go. No one's actually gotten to share an experience that was there that's not weird. It's you're just sharing what happened with you. You know what I'm saying? So this is extremely important. Go for it.
Yeah. So so what ended up happening was we got back to the island. Sun was going down, it was getting later. And I was hungry, of course. We were all hungry, and I was sharing a room with Carmine. I remember she's like, I'm going to take a shower, and I was going to walk to the little village area where they had food and where the local people were. And I will never forget, I was walking. I still had my outfit, my white outfit on from the shoot.
What?
Didn't even change, no, because just like, we're on an island, you know?
Yeah.
So I walk, and this guy in a pickup truck, this local guy, like, pulls up on me, and he was like, hey, he was panicked. He was like, hey, were you part of the, you know, the crew that was just filming on the yacht in the ocean? And I said, yeah. And he was like, the plane has crashed. And I get chills talking about it. And I was like, what? And he was like, the plane has crashed. And so I freaked out, and I started running to the little area where everybody was. And at that point, I saw Fatima and I saw Hype, and they were like crying, both of them, and walking really fast towards me. And then all the local people were, you know, like chattering. It was just like chaos happening. And you know, and then Hype and Fatima were like, meet in my room, his room, in like 30 minutes. We need to have a meeting, and didn't say anything else. But at that point,
God,
it happened. And so, yeah. And what ended up happening is I went back to the room and talked to Carmine, and we all ended up meeting back in the Hype's room and trying to find out what was going on. He was very calm and explained to us, he's like, a plane has crashed. We're not sure if it was theirs. We think it is. And we just started praying. That was it. We all started crying. We got together, we held hands, we prayed. And, you know, it just took a long time to find out what had really happened. And then we got confirmation that it was their plane. And, you know, from that point, I mean, so much happened. Like, It was just like, you would never, like, one moment I'm standing with Aaliyah, talking to her, dancing with her, and the next minute, you know, all these people are gone. So it was traumatizing. I was highly traumatized.
Period.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, it was crazy. And all I remember was you. I mean, all the people that knew me, my parents and everybody, were trying to get in touch. They had heard already. News was hitting the mainland.
Because I was supposed to pick you and Carmita up from the airport.
Right.
And I did, and the flight had come and gone, and I wasn't hearing from you. And then I started to like trying to blow you up, remember? And then
all of that.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I got on the phone and I was trying to call family. I was trying to call you. I was trying to just let everybody know that we were okay, because everybody just heard that Aaliyah's plane crashed. So everybody thought all of us were gone. And yeah, so it was intense. It was really intense. And yeah, I just remember a lot of things very clearly. Some of it I choose not to share because I think it's personal stuff.
Absolutely.
But, you know, like yeah, it was really, 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 it went from extremely light to like, you know, just a lot of life happened in those few days.
A lot of life happened.
A lot of like, I don't know. I don't even know. It was just the most life-changing job, obviously, I've ever done, but also the most memorable, not in the greatest ways, but at the same time, like, you know, just to talk about human being. She was like very much just, I don't know. She was just one of those people that when you meet, you're like, they're good with themselves.
Yes.
You know, like
absolutely.
You meet someone and you're like, they're okay with who they are, and they don't have anything to prove, and they've learned a lot in this lifetime. And I always felt that with her. She's just so in herself, and it was beautiful to experience. And I'm very grateful that I got to experience all of that with her. And I'm sad that she's gone, because I feel like she was next. I don't know. Next. I just feel like that video and that time, it was
that was the, yeah, it was it's the trauma cut short. Anything you want to say, I don't know, to Aaliyah's fans or to people that feel like they didn't get a chance, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would love for you to share a little something cool, because every time, yes, Sienna, she was next. Every time we hear of this past, of course we know the tragedy, you know what I mean? But I would love if you want to share some light to the fans, including me, because I got chills right now.
Yeah, no, she was just a peaceful human being. You know what I mean? Like, she was just peaceful. She was who she was. She was unapologetic. She wasn't infected with like stardom at all. Like, she was so approachable and down to earth, and just someone you wanted to be around. So I know for us, it was just really an easy time to be around her all the time. Like, it was fun. We just had fun. And you know, having worked with a lot of people, it's not always like that. So it was a blessing to be in her presence and to have had that opportunity, because she was something else. And she was like, to me, she was just so, she was magic.
Thank you, Aaliyah. That's what I would like to say. Thank you for the time she was here, what she gave to you, to everybody that worked with her in general, and then to everybody that just felt her music and her spirit, you know, unbelievable.
I know, Lou, me too.
I know,
it was like yesterday. As a matter of fact, it was 2001. I just want to like say this last little piece. It was 2001, and it was at the end of August 2001, and we all came back from that. I was traumatized. I couldn't sleep at night, like for a long time. And then 9/11 happened. So
the next week, 1 week,
like almost 2 weeks out, like a week and a half after. It was 9/11, and all I remember going, I was just like, I remember being in my apartment, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
you called me for 9/11.
Yeah.
I remember it was like 7 in the morning. You said, girl, they blowing us up. I was just like, well,
yeah, right before September 11th. Exactly. I'm looking at the comments. It's like,
no,
like
absolutely.
Boom, boom, and it was like tragic.
It all happened so quick. It all happened so quick. It was crazy. And then what was also interesting, do you kind of remember maybe about a month later, we went and did Missy's video, Takeaway. and it was dedicated to Aaliyah. And we were like one of the first people to ever be on a flight after 9/11. Remember? And there was like only 6-7 people on the flight.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we
And I
prayed.
remember
My mom was like, dropped us off. And she was like, well, let's pray, because we both were so scared to get on the plane. Do you remember all of this?
Yes, and I remember wanting to go so bad because I wanted to dance in honor of Aaliyah, because it was honoring Aaliyah. And I remember
100.
I danced my ass off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Lou, he said he flew back to NYC the day before 9/11. Yep. And I flew from NYC the day before 9/11 because we were the MTV Awards. The one was there the night before 9/11.
Yeah.
Just a lot happened that year, that week, that month.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing, Lisette. Everybody is saying thank you so
I
much
know,
for
as
sharing.
a lot of people always want to know that story, and it's like, it's pretty tragic. It's
absolutely,
but also like I want people to see like how light it was too, and I feel like when people see the video, they can see all of that. That's why it impacted, like,
Yeah, it did. Well, thank you so much. Oh, my bestie. Shit, girl. I appreciate that. Well, we're gonna go right to something. We're gonna break up the monotony. This is when you was like dancing, girl.
Okay. Look, I'm like,
here we go. Yeah, it's gonna come. The beat hasn't dropped yet. Take a sip of wine. Hey, Brooke. All right.
Wow.
We love you, Aaliyah. Thank you, Lisette. And we're going to move into something that was also one of my favorite jobs that you did. You know what I mean? It's really cool when you have a best friend that also they're killing it. So it's like, we got to like be like, watching things and being able to fan out. Like, I mean, Crimea River live at TRL in Times Square. So if you guys want to look it up, click on Crimea River, New York live with Justin Timberlake, and you'll see Lisette. Jenna Dewan was your opposite.
Yeah,
Jenna. Did Marty choreograph that? Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, Marty. So I worked a lot with Marty, and he was working with NSYNC, and then Justin went solo, and he called me, and he was like, "Hey," this was actually interesting because this was, it must have been like 26. Around there, somewhere around there, and you and I had actually just started working together doing I don't know if you remember. So we were kind of dabbling in some stuff and just kind of getting our feet wet in choreography.
Exactly, because we were both in that mode of not all in, but almost
So it was almost 10 years for me dancing professionally, because I started at 17. So I remember thinking to myself, like, I'm gonna definitely do this gig because I love this music. I love Marty. Justin's amazing. So it was freaking awesome. Justin's awesome. He's one of those people, honestly, you guys, you don't like them. You don't like them because they're good at everything. He's one of those people that's like, everything he does is good. It's like, how dare you be so freaking good? It's annoying. He's like that. So he awesome guy, super sweet, got called in again with Marty, and he would we learned a bunch of stuff. He came in, swoop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop, learned it in like 2 seconds. He was at his prime. He had just gone solo, so he was like, I'm
doing it.
Kill this. So it was really, really fun doing that job. And I didn't dance for him very long, but what I did, I really enjoyed. And it's one of those things in life, I always say, it's like, you got to listen to your gut, because and Marty and I actually were just talking about this the last time we were at Monsters together. We were like cracking up. He was like, ah! But I had done all this stuff with Justin, and then he was going to go on his world tour. So he called me to go on the world tour. He was like, I want to book you. It's going to be like about a year.
Yeah.
And you and I had just started like getting
into our thing. I remember this.
And it was very magical. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, what do I do? Like, it's Justin Timberlake. It's a year.
Right.
whatever, or I really wanted to do choreography, and I really thought what we had going on it was fire. Like I was feeling it. So I remember I did all these gigs with JT. It was awesome. If I wanted to dance for anyone and go on tour with anyone, it would have been him. It would have been Marty, because
hell yeah.
vibes. And I like prayed on it. I did. I was like torn. My agent at the time was like, "You better take this gig." He was like,
right.
Your agent. He was like, "Lisette Bustamante, you better go on tour with Justin Timberlake." And I remember going, "I'm not gonna go." And he was like, "What?" He was like,
right.
People are gonna like, they're gonna think things that you're turning this down. I was like,
Absolutely.
honestly, like, something's telling me not to go.
Not to go.
I said, let me tell you, I want to go so bad. But something's telling me to stay. And he was like,
boom.
Okay, you're crazy. He told me I was crazy. He's like, you're crazy. You're like the opportunity of the lifetime. You're just flushing it down the drain. I was like, I don't think so, honestly. Like, I feel like I've danced for a lot of people and I love it, but I want to be creative and I want to do what's next. And so I turned it down. And I will never forget turning it down, feeling like, did I just shoot myself in the foot, both feet, and I'm never going to dance again?
I know, right? Absolutely. And what's crazy is, look at that. There.
Yeah.
And
the crazy thing is, you guys, this is why you have to listen to your gut.
Absolutely.
It was like literally like a month later. We had been working on all this stuff. We had an agent. They were submitting us, and we got called in to audition privately to set choreography on Britney Spears.
Yep, we sure did. At Aaliyah.
At Aaliyah. Remember, we walked in. She was sitting at a piano.
She was
by herself. She was like, "Give me some stuff," and we were like, you know. And I remember
we sure did.
So many times in my life, it was like the thing where you get that validation of like, trust yourself.
Absolutely.
Always trust yourself. Always bet on yourself, no matter
always bet on yourself. That's right.
What everybody else is saying and whatever else is, because it gets loud and it'll swirl around your head and you want to hear all the other things. But like, I've always really tuned in, and I think that's helped. We ended up getting the gig with Jamie King.
We sure did. We got the Britney gig
for Britney, for Pink. It kind of happened.
For J-Lo, for Christina
Milian. That I would have been gone.
We were doing the damn thing. Oh, yay. Yeah. And it's crazy because I think we both were in the same position, because I was in that same position with Hi-Hat. Right. I was doing the gigs with Hi-Hat, and then I was like, okay, am I going on tour? Am I going to go into the full Hi-Hat world? And it was and I already had been in there. We both were like, we got to make this decision. And you bet on yourself, I bet on myself, and we bet on each other. We just knew something was special. And we still together.
You with my hearing aid, you with your glasses.
Get your wine, Millie. Just so you guys know, me and Lisette's old people's name, Millie, is Millie and Etna. So like when we're old, we're Millie and Etna.
Millie and Etna.
I've been doing this shit for a minute.
But it's really cool, I think, for people to hear that, because especially now with like social media and all this like noise, the noise gets so loud and it's hard for you to like tune in to like the voice, whatever you believe in. But like, I firmly believe that like I get hits of like clarity and I have to go with that. So it's never steered me wrong. You know?
It hasn't. Hey, Vanessa in Atlanta. What's up? It's never, did you guys hear that? It's never steered her wrong. That's what it is. You got to bet on yourself, pray about it.
Yeah.
You know, take that moment.
Just listen.
Exactly. So let's go right into the next listening. Food, chef, calling, something, food like called you. Yeah. So you answered like, hello.
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 Hello, food.
Tell us, give us a little bit about your food journey, trained chef, you know, holistic coach, and you know how that came together.
Sure. So a while ago, long time ago, I've always loved food.
Period.
Like I've cooked since I was little. I mean, I love eating. I love food and I love eating. It's my favorite thing to do.
True. Facts.
Yes, facts, right? And so about 6 years ago, I decided that I wanted to enroll myself into culinary school on a
Period.
whim. Like I had always been cooking. Shonique knows, like I
Mm-hmm.
invite friends over, I would cook, I would do these big dinners and just have everybody over. It's always been like the passion that I've had, and it's my love language. If you guys know me,
Really
like
is.
I'm a service person, so like that's why I like teaching. I like helping people. I like giving things to people. I love making food for people. So 6 years ago, before I got married, I remember being on a vacation with my fiance at the time, and just like Googling a bunch of stuff. I think I'm gonna take this culinary course. I don't know, whatever. And I found something that really spoke to me. Again, spoke to me,
Absolutely.
and it was like reasonable, and it was doable with my schedule, and and I just jumped in. I was like, I'm doing this, and I'm just gonna see if I like it. I always tell people when I teach to like try things on. Like you're
Yes.
like pretend like you're going to a store and you gotta like buy an outfit for somewhere nice to go. You gotta try a few things on to see what's right. And I believe that in life. Like you gotta try things on to see if you like them, or if you want to explore them further. And so I was like, I'm gonna try it on. It's not a big
Yep.
deal. And from the first class, I was like, I'm in 100%. I loved
Mm-hmm.
it. If you guys don't know this about me, I am a straight nerd. Like I don't really watch Netflix. If I dive into something, I dive deep with a
Period.
snorkel, with scuba gear. I'm like in the deep sea.
Absolutely.
So I dove really deep into class and became obsessed, and then started and finished with the course, got my certification, and then just started reading 1 million cookbooks. I own like over 100 cookbooks, you guys.
Absolutely. Aurelia just said Virgo Nation. She ain't
Virgo
lied.
Nation. We go.
She has
hard,
not lied.
we go deep.
And
I'm a
and
researcher.
you
Like I
guys,
will find the thing that's like,
yes, you
oh,
will.
okay, let me do a little more research.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so I found food, and so I fell in love with it, and I just did it for fun at the time. And I was like, maybe when I get older, this is gonna be something I'm gonna explore. And then I ended up getting sick. Actually, I got right after I did my culinary school, I got a job hosting a TV show. But I did Virgos run the world. Luther's a Virgo too.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
a little psycho, we're a little OCD, but we will organize your life and get you together.
Hey, I mess with y'all Virgos. Okay. I mess with y'all Virgos. I'm surrounded. Y'all Virgos got me surrounded.
Yeah, we do. You're surrounded. But I did this job where I had to be a co-host for a show, and it was a very unique opportunity. I learned so much. It was awesome. I felt really great doing it, but it demanded a lot from me at the time. And I remember being highly stressed. I was traveling. I was learning like lines, like they were giving me like papers of like things I had to learn. I had never hosted a show in my life. So it was just like, here you go. And it was highly stressful. And I got sick doing that show. I found out that I had autoimmune disease. So there you go. So just know when
the show was bomb. Tell them what the show was. It was called
Showville. The show was called Showville.
I love that show.
On AMC. We had one season, and then it got canceled, but that's okay.
I remember when you were sick.
Was the awesome, funniest comedian in the world was my co-host, and he made me laugh and really like made me feel comfortable. And honestly, I learned a lot about myself, and it was a really unique opportunity, and it actually coached me for a lot of on-camera stuff, which was cool. But I remember like just being on the road and my hair started falling out, and I was like, what is happening? Like, I don't even know what's going on. My skin changed, my hair was falling out, and I came back from being off the road and went to the doctor, and he was like, he checked me for thyroid cancer. He's like, I need to check you for cancer today.
Damn.
So luckily I was clear I didn't have any thyroid cancer, but my numbers were off the charts, and I developed an autoimmune disease. And so what I've been doing with food is I've just been like trying to heal myself and other people, but mostly just like my family, with food, like learning what works for me, how to prepare food that's nourishing and stuff at home. And then because I'm a Virgo, when I was pregnant with my second, Rhea, I took a course to become a holistic health coach. So I'm a certified holistic health coach because I wanted to learn about food and really what it does for not only my body, but like what it does for other people's bodies who have any issues, or how food can inflame or can heal or help or hinder. It just depends on the person. So So that's kind of what I'm working on now, is like really diving into my food. I'm teaching classes now and I love it. I do it every day anyway, so I just love sharing the knowledge and educating people so they can eat better and take good care of themselves, because I had no choice.
You had no choice. And that's the testimony. It's like it brought you to your passion and made it like your purpose. I'm going to have to end it and go back, because you know us, we talking and talking and talking.
All day.
Back to Mr. Man.
This is so fun. We need to do this once a week, girl.
Huh?
We need to do this once a week.
I'm telling you.
This is like adult time for me.
Boom. Exactly. Okay, we in here.
Wait,
Lucas said we in here.
Dave Scott is on. Is Dave Scott here? Is it the real Dave Scott?
Dave, are you here? Dave, give us a comment if you're really here, because you put us on the train. Oh, yep. Show you over there.
You gave me my laugh, Dave.
Exactly.
Show you over there functioning like an old mom.
Exactly. Hello there, Dave. Dave, we already gave the Lisette already gave the breakdown. Immature mode.
That's a whole nother show.
Actually, he just said it is me. What's up? Okay, so moving for people that are just joining on, Lisette has broke down the evolution. Started with Valley Girl, LA, boom. Then graduated high school, Morelandis, work study, cleaning toilets and gum off the floor.
It's very glamorous.
Cut to her big break when Dave has an audition at Morelandis, and Wade says, you need to go to that audition. And then an entourage of people come and say, go to the audition.
Keisha Gamble.
Yep, exactly. And you go up there and then you kill it. And then it's with my cousin Saba and Aaliyah. Fun fact, tell them about Aaliyah and our connection, how we basically became besties through Aaliyah.
Should I tell them the real story or no?
I don't know what the real one is. I'm like, is there a real one opposed to a real one?
No. Aaliyah knew you. Aaliyah knew you, and
yes,
I knew Aaliyah. So she was exactly like the common denominator for us. And absolutely. I had heard about you because you were like the girl, like the dancing girl. Like everybody was like, oh, Shonique is here. Like she would pop into a class and she'd be like, you know, and like she'd do her like freestyle and people would be like, you know, no. Like, it was crazy. So all I knew you were just this like enigma. And yeah, and then I got to know you through Aaliyah. Really, the first time I kind of got to know you was on the Immature video, because that was before we actually like really spent enough time together. But yeah,
absolutely, they're dying right now, Lisette. They're laughing at you. They're laughing right now because
you guys need to watch that video. Let me tell you something. I had been waiting my whole life to book a music video. And the first music video I got, I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna look good. They're gonna put me." I was 79 years old with a gold tooth, a white Golden Girls wig, and a robe. You know, like it was.
Thanks,
not
Dave.
So.
Damn. Okay, so Immature, moving to Immature, and then you had like an amazing dance journey, and we are gonna have to do this way more often, because like we said, this is a series. It's too much info. It's way too much info to just put it right here.
Yeah.
But the 3 top gigs that we did talk about were Icon, Janet Jackson. Mm-hmm. The one thing that we didn't talk about was when you and Stephanie Camera came down those came down that little
fun fact. Another yes.
You got to give that story. That's like
funny.
That's one of my favorite stories in my entire in your entire career. Tell them about that.
So we're rehearsing this big like airline hangar where we did Icon. It's a humongous venue. And we had been rehearsing. We had all of the stage work done, but they had wanted some grand entrance because it was Janet Jackson Icon. Like she was the one. So it was all about her. So they're like, you need the grandest entrance possible. So this guy that's working on the crew, he's like, and Marty kind of talks about it, but it was very much like it just popped out. It wasn't like something we rehearsed. They were like, yeah, we're going to have Janet come from the ceilings on Lyra and like just kind of go down. And then they were like, we need 2 dancers who want to try it, is what they said. They didn't say
Right.
who are going to do it. They were like, we need dancers who want to try it. And I went like this.
Yeah.
Like, because like I don't have a fear of heights, and I was like, hell yeah, I want.
Hell
And
yeah.
so it was me and Stephanie Camber. Our hands shot up so fast, like simultaneously, and I think all the other dancers were like thinking about it for a second,
Right.
like, do I want to come? It was extremely high.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, great, let's get geared up, let's go right now. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, so they took us up to the rafters, like harnessed us up, and they're like, we're gonna just see if this works and practice. And it worked, and we did it.
Damn.
And I was glad that I didn't think too long and hard about my decision, because it was like a really cool moment.
That's amazing. You guys Google that, go to YouTube, and it's the MTV, it's the Janet Jackson Icon performance. And you'll see exactly what she's talking about. I've watched everything today again. Hi,
You did?
Tim. Tim saying hi, show Lisette.
Tim!
Mwah,
Tim
mwah,
always
mwah.
did
We're
our
talking about
makeup.
that iconic performance. I don't know. Did Tim do your makeup on that one? I don't know.
Tim, did you do
Tim,
icon
did you do
makeup?
the icon
I feel
performance
like,
makeup?
yes. I feel
He
like he
probably
did all the
Yes,
makeup.
he said he was there. He said, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Of course. That's what I'm like. I'm thinking Tim was there.
He was always the makeup artist, and this
Absolutely.
the bomb. He's the bomb.
Yep, absolutely. Shout out Tim. Amazing. I mean, we've had memories of him from dancer and to now
Everything.
iconic makeup artist.
Miss you.
Miss you, Tim. So then Janet, we talked about Janet. We talked about JT, the performance on TRL Live Times Square, Justin Timberlake. And then we talked about Aaliyah, and she shared a personal experience with the Rock the Boat experience. And then now we're talking about where her evolution is moved into food and nutrition and her passion for that. Miss you guys too, everybody. So now this is where we are. So Lisette, you're gotten you're a chef, and then you went fully deep dive because of your thyroid condition, and then you learned even further and got more passionate about the holistic health coaching, and now you're certified.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's get to the present day. We are in a crazy, weird, pandemic, global quarantine crisis. You're navigating everything. You got 2 kids. So let's talk about
with little
kids. Let's go into that. Let's talk about now your food as a wife of 2, 10 months and 2 years old, and then plus you're an artist and trying to figure it all out and then make money somehow in this weird situation. Break Lisette. Where are they now? Where are they now? Give us the
it's hard.
Lisette,
I'm not gonna lie.
Where are they now segment.
It's the challenge. It's like you said, I'm navigating it every day. And with this pandemic happening, so I've run the gamut of emotions and ups and downs. Like when this first hit, I was very stressed out. I was calling you like, girl,
yeah.
I was just like, I saw this coming ahead of time, and I was very concerned and stressed not only for my health, my family's health, but also for work. Like, what are we going to do? Because this is huge. So I've been feeling all the feels. Like I've had days where I've been down and I've been, in my head. But the thing that happens when you have kids is you have to be present for them. So I don't have a lot of time to sit in it. I have to show up for them every day. And I do. I try my best. My husband is awesome. John, he's like my partner, and we work it out every day, and it's very hard. I don't know. I definitely think that it's opened up some things for me creatively that I've always wanted to do. It's given me a little space to kind of go, what is important to me really? Right? Because I think that's when everybody starts to, when people have a lot of time with themselves, it's like a mirror comes up to your face so you can see everything that's really going on, because you don't have a choice not to, right? So that's what's been happening. And for me, it's been really realizing how I love food and nutrition and cooking. I started baking bread, sourdough bread from scratch.
Which is bomb, by the way.
Thank you. Which is been like a science experiment and really fun. And I've teaching my son too, because he was in school and he had to get pulled out of school. So I'm teaching him every day and we're doing fun things. But like, I don't know. I think everybody's kind of probably in the same boat, right? Like we want the answers, but we don't really know. And so it's a moment of letting go of control.
Huh.
Really.
Period.
You know, like we just have to surrender the control. Like, and I've been just doing that every day. I just take it one day at a time instead of being the Virgo that I am and the person that I was always like, okay, everything needs to be organized. I need to know what I'm doing. This has really just kind of like grounded me again and got my feet back on the earth and gone, okay, like what matters here? What's important? Who do I want to be connecting with? Because it's very important for me to still connect, even though we can't connect physically. Like, who are we connecting with? What am I reading? Where am I spending my time? Where's my focus right now? And I'm just paying attention to those things. And I'm drinking a lot.
Period. Exactly.
Cheers.
Period.
I mean, like, cold brew.
And you know what's so funny?
Cold brew for the first part of the day and then alcohol for the second part of the day. But that's part of being a mom sometimes.
Getting through.
Guys, like, it's
wine
no
juice,
joke.
right? Damn. Wine juice for sure. But you know what? And you say, because I watch you, like I know you personally, so I get to see how you navigate, and you do make it look easy. And you know, and people say superwoman, and I know you hate that word. So throw this out there because I want people to know like why you hate the word superwoman. I know why, but like who are you in navigating everything? Because people are starting to feel like you have to be superwoman to be able to navigate everything. So kind of give everybody a little insight to why superwoman, you don't subscribe to superwoman.
I mean, I don't think it's like a horrible thing, but people will go like, superwoman, that's so cool. You like do all the things. And I think that I think we just need to like, and this is a lesson that I've learned as I've gotten older. I'm in my 40s now, you know, I just be gentler with yourself all the time. I think
like that.
There's so much pressure and comparison and things that you're looking like you have to be and you want to be. And when you just can be real with yourself and like, you know, I do a lot of things, but I also have really screwed up days. I cry. I surrender to things. Like today I fell asleep when my kids went to sleep and there was like, just my house looked like Hurricane Katrina hit my house. And then John came home and he was like, what's happening here? And I was like, I don't know.
Period.
So it's like, yeah, I don't want to be the superwoman, you know, I just want to be doing the best I can all the time. And I think that goes like when you're dealing with other people, if you can like see them in that way, I think that's important too. That's something that I've learned is like, be gentle with yourself, allow yourself to fail, allow yourself to have days where just it's not happening, it's not going right, like you need to walk away from things, but also like know that everybody's doing the best that they can in the moment they're doing it too. You know, try to give people like, you know, the benefit of the doubt as much as possible and just know like they're doing the best. Everybody's doing the best that they can. Or otherwise they'd be doing something else. So that's really what it is, right? So, you know, being a mom now, I'm an older mom with 2 kids. I waited a little bit longer to have kids, which I'm very grateful that it happened for me. And it was a lot of work for me, to be honest. But I have to do that with myself because I'm tired. You're more tired when you're older. And also just like, you know, I want my kids to see like the real. I want them to see when I'm emotional, when I'm angry, when I'm not okay, you know, and I want people to see that too. I want that around me. And so, you know, that's it. Like, it's not about being a superwoman. It's not superwoman. I just like to do a lot of things. I'm a busybody more than a superwoman. But I think we all just try the best that we can. You know?
What's a tip that maybe you could give to, you know, a mom that's kind of losing it right now in the middle of everything?
Just know, like, this is something I've told you this before too. it's that like it'll pass, right? Because we as mom, I think moms now too have this like thing, because you'll look on Instagram and you see all these like filtered pictures of moms looking like gorgeous with like their kids,
Right,
and, like,
right, right.
totally, and it's not, that's not real, you know. So it's really hard being a mom, especially with two little ones, and they're very close in age. But I think the thing that I would say is like, just remember the good things, like savor the moments of them being loving and cuddling you, because I always try to think like, this is the last time they'll be this little. So
Yeah, right.
you know, like, let me enjoy. And then there's sometimes with this quarantine where I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. But then at the same time, in the same breath, I'm like, I'm getting to bond with my kids in a way that I never probably would. And the thing that is really funny that I told you, because I think you told Sabo this, is like when I first had Ray and she'd be screaming and Rowan was screaming and I'm here by myself and I'm like crying, like literally like tears falling down my face. I'm like, just Sabo. And I said to myself, it's only screams.
It's just sound. No, that's what you said.
It's just sound. It's just sound.
That was your mantra?
I remember, and then that became my mom mantra. Like, it's just sound.
Exactly.
The sound will stop. Just it's sound instead of screaming.
Absolutely. That's great. I did tell, and that is a great mantra. Saba, I don't know if Saba, are you still in here? Because I told you that mantra too, and she said she used it. She said it was the same thing. Her kids just went and she was like, it's just sound.
It's just
sound. Just noise. And I was like, God, that mantra, I'm passing that over.
You guys, like. It gets hard sometimes, but it's also like really fun sometimes, you know.
It's just sound. So okay, so say something to Rowan, Raya, and John right now. Hi guys.
Those are my loves. They're sleeping. Hi, Rowan, Raya, John.
John's sleeping too?
No, John's working right now.
Okay, always.
He's always working.
Shout out. It's just sound. They're putting it. It's just sounds.
It's just sounds.
New mantra, you guys. You heard it here. From Lisette, that mantra.
If any of you guys want to have kids, just remember, it's only, and you have to say it like this, it's only sounds. It's only sounds.
It's only sounds. Jeez Louise. Oh my God.
Trust me, you'll use it.
For real. So let's kind of wrap it up, and let's throw a little last thoughts, last words. You guys, we're gonna come back because people were asking questions to me and Lisette about what we've done together. That's an entirely different episode. That's so we'll come back for that. But if there's any questions right now, this is a great time to throw out some questions to Lisette, with anything that you guys are thinking about as far as her journey, things that you want to know, anything that we talked about today. This would be a good time. Thank you, Lisette. My besties on Show Business Live.
You're welcome. This is so fun. I feel like we talked a lot, actually. We
actually did. We got it in. A little bit over, to be honest. Hey, Janet's here. Hi, Janet.
Hi, Janet.
So
look at these. Look, you guys. This is what 40 looks like. I can barely read these comments.
That's why I have on my glasses, because Dave called me.
Glasses.
Dave said I'm looking like an auntie. I sure am, and I can read the comments looking like an auntie right now too.
Raina, love you, Raina. This is so cool. Hey, everybody.
3 meals on a deserted island.
What?
3 meals on a deserted island. That was from Sienna, and then the next one from Wayne is: are you planning to release your own cookbook? So those are 2 good ones.
Good question. 3 meals. Whew. I would definitely be okay. So I feel like I always say this, like my last meal if I was going to the chair or whatever.
If you're going to the chair, yeah.
Like, I know, I'm sorry, all you vegans, but like it would be a cheeseburger, a really good cheeseburger that was like bacon and maybe definitely cheese, some good meat, a nice potato bun. That would probably be it. I also love it'd be like pasta, meatballs, spaghetti. I'm very like simple. I just want like the simple things. I mean, I make fancy, crazy things, but it would be simple things like that. And
tell them about the cooking class, and then have you got another series coming up? I'm in the cooking class. I'm having a ball.
Yeah,
and my shit's looking bomb. Everyone's stuff is looking bomb. So tell them about that.
I'm doing another one. I don't know when. We'll see. It's hard with kids because I do it when they nap. I have them on a schedule.
Right.
but yeah, it's really cool. And I'm just teaching everybody. We're not using a lot of recipes, which is cool. I'm just kind of working with everybody, what they have at their house. I might like have them pick up a couple things, but it's kind of like a freestyle vibe. So I'll just talk to everybody and go, what do you have? What are you cooking with? And we just cook together, and I teach them more of just like how to break it down, how to make it taste good, and a lot of like tips and tricks. So that's my style. I think,
Yep.
you know, I want to empower people to just cook more and not be bogged down with like, you know, following a recipe, because I feel like that's annoying. And sometimes you
Absolutely.
just don't have all the things. But, and
Yep.
cookbook, it's funny that you said that about the cookbook. I told John 2 days ago, I said, you know what, babe? I said, I am going to write a cookbook. I don't know
Perfect.
when it's going to happen, but that's going to happen in my lifetime. So for sure. Yeah.
I love that.
That's on my list. That's going to happen for me, you know,
That's
even
great.
if it's like 5 people buy it, I don't care. I'm going to do it.
Shit, hell yeah. And I'm sure you got like 20 people right now that would buy it, you know? Seriously.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you miss the industry? And if so, what about it do you miss?
Interesting question. Do I miss the industry?
You know, or performing? Yeah, let me,
Yeah. So
I'll
I did
keep
a
that question.
performance, not last year, the year before, right before I had my second child, with Ariana Grande. So Brian and Scott called me out of the blue and were like, hey, we're doing this thing. You want to dance? Just like, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm lying. I was like, I'm not going to do it. And then my husband and Shonique talked me into
I was about
it.
to
I was
say,
like,
you weren't like, yeah, at the beginning.
yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I did, but then at the same time, I was like, you know, I don't know, rehearsal. Blah, blah,
Right.
you know, it sounded like a lot to me, because the last time, you guys, I danced professionally, I was like 28, and
Yeah.
I'm telling my age right now, I'm gonna be
Right.
43. So, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, scary.
A
But they
gap.
talked me into it, and it was fun. And I remember the reason that I also wanted to do it was to see how it felt that
Right.
many years later. And it felt great. Here's the thing. I remember them, you know, I don't know if you guys have ever done like a live performance on an award show. I know some of you guys have. They do a countdown to like when everything goes live, and they're like counting down. And I remember this feeling that I got in my body. It was like very, very familiar. And it was like, okay, here we go. And then I zoned in, and it was very easy for me to zone in and feel all the feels. And it was awesome. And it was done. And it was great. And I was like, thank you very much. That was awesome. And
Good night.
I don't need to do that anymore.
Thank you, and good night.
No, it felt great. It was great.
Totally.
But I've done that.
You were good.
I've done it. Like, I've done it enough to know what that feels like, and to be fulfilled with how it felt. Like, I'm not seeking anything. Like, my ego's not seeking anything else. I don't miss anything about that.
Like that.
Live performance, all that, it's exhilarating. It feels awesome. It feels great. I will never forget what that feels like.
Right.
So, like, I'm just in a different place in my life.
Totally.
And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm definitely okay with going, you know, I've hung up my, you know, my
dancing shoes in that way.
Yeah,
Exactly.
in
Once
that
a mover,
way.
always
Yeah.
a mover.
I love teaching. I love making. I love making more than anything. I mean, but you know, that was we were in heels on concrete for hours.
Real. You guys were not playing. Absolutely.
So
I feel you.
so
What about like creative directing, choreography? Where's your head with that? I mean, you know.
I mean, honestly, you guys, like, I love teaching. I feel like in this part of my life, what feels right for me is like, I love exchanging with people, and I love being a source of information for people. I like to be able to ignite things in people. And for me, in all honesty, teaching does that. Like, you know, we've done a couple gigs recently, even when I was pregnant. And, you know, sometimes working with artists, it's great, but also it sucks a lot of your energy, because you're having to be a people pleaser, and you're having to stifle your creativity sometimes. And I think just where I'm at right now is like, I want to feel free, and I want to be able to be with my family more, because now I have them. And you know, this lifestyle takes you away from your family a lot. So I'm just like feeling I'm just going with, again, what feels right to me. And so I love it. I love watching it. I love watching all the award shows. I especially love watching, you know, some of our students and people that we know like doing so well in all of it.
Killing it.
That's super fulfilling for me. And
Totally.
but for me, I don't need to do it. I feel like I feel good with what I've done, and yeah.
I love
Wait,
that.
what are we talking about? Raina, Luther?
Yeah, they're just they're hey Raina, basically Luther. I don't know what Luther just said. I missed that part.
Yeah.
A few people just came on. I love that. So you guys,
Oh, babysitting. Are you talking about with artists?
Oh, babysitting. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm just tired
Done
of
with that part.
all
Yeah.
the nonsense. I'm too old. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with all the extra
All
nonsense
the extra.
that comes along with all of that. It's like I already got 2 kids, you know. I deal with a lot of nonsense. So
That
hi,
part.
Kamani.
Hey, Kamani.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up because we went over, but this is why we needed to go over, because like we had way too much to talk about, and especially me and this girl right here. We could go for hours.
Seriously, you guys.
There's so much stuff that we could talk about, and I'm glad that we got
didn't talk about like best kept secret.
No. That's a whole nother thing. We're gonna talk about best kept secret. We're gonna talk, like I said,
what we need to do is dig up some of that footage.
Absolutely, we will. I got a few things, and we're gonna dig up some best kept secret footage. We're gonna get fun facts about some of the stuff that we did. Guess what I saw? Okay, now I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm wondering. This is a question. This is a fun fact. Did we come up with the very first viral video, which was "Love Don't Cost a Thing"? Gink, gink, D. I Googled it, and there's a hashtag with all these different people doing that. Remember that dance and "Love Don't Cost a Thing"? The chop, slide, yes, exactly. So anyways, people started to do it, and I looked and I said, wait a minute. And there's like football players that are doing it, like on the sideline. And I'm like, yes, girl, you have to YouTube it. And I said, wait, did we come up with the very first viral dance?
I don't know, probably. I mean, we did best kept secret how long ago? When did that start?
That was 2001,
2002?
Probably 2001, 2002.
Nobody was doing that kind of, I mean, nobody was like doing like live dancing girls. Crazy. We did crazy stuff, you guys. We were nuts at the time, but that was so fun.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to that. We're gonna come back. We'll come back another time, and we'll do a whole, Shanique and Lisette moment, because that was a time. That was like, some of the best times of my life in a long span. And I'm sure we'll be able to dig up like half the stuff that we did. So that's a different episode. Mm-hmm. But thank you to my BFF. Yep, best kept secret all day.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that.
So
thank
fun.
you to Lisette Bustamante.
Raina was there.
Yep, Raina, ACL, they were like there all the time. And I just want to say how much I love you, how much I am blessed to be a part of, we've been like creative soulmates for a couple decades, and came up with some things that just, inspired the both of us, and hopefully inspired others. Yeah. And I just, Lisette's journey is so unique, and she doesn't just dabble in things. When she goes in, she goes all the way in. And so that's why her dance and her cheerleading and her artist, we didn't even get into her music. That's another episode too, because she went into a music world too. She can sing, and she's an amazing songwriter. So there's so many things that Lisette has done. And, the bonus is she's my bestie. So
this is awesome.
Do you want to say goodbye to everybody? And before we say goodbye to everybody, I'm gonna play a little song a little bit, because me and Lisette, we would sometimes all night play this one song over and over and over, and we would sing this verse over and over and over. I know I'm gonna play it and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh. And I found out who wrote the song. I didn't know who wrote this song, because on Versus, the Versus IG Live, Jonta Austin and Neo went back and forth. And then Jonte played this song, and I was like, oh, he wrote this song. And I found out he wrote like half of the songs that we used to always sing forever. Like me and Lisette would sometimes be in Japan and we'd be jet lagged. And so for 4 hours, we would just like scat. Remember we would scat for like 3-4 hours?
We'd have like marathons of scatting. Like who could like be more creative would just be like, going,
and we would just do that for hours because we didn't have shit.
Because we're crazy. Okay?
But also what we would do is play this song, and we would play this over and over and over. Not that one, this one.
Oh. Wait,
John T. Austin wrote this song, and he did verses against Neo. So we would do this.
hey.
And we sing this part over and over.
Oh my God, John just walked in. He's like, what is going on?
Hi, John.
He's like, but you know what? Like, I feel like I can't find this music. Is it not?
You can't. I found it. It's on the Friday soundtrack.
Ah.
Aaliyah, you can't find any Aaliyah on iTunes.
Sucks. I know.
They only her first one with Mr. You Know Who. That's on there.
Yeah.
But any of the other stuff is not on there. But fortunately, the next Friday, it's on the next Friday soundtrack. Okay. I don't wanna. So go ahead and buy it. I found it. I was excited, and there we go. That song goes off. So yes, me and Lisette, we would scat for hours because we didn't have anything else to do, and we would sing this part over and over and over, and we would try to find the harmonies. And we just
had fun, y'all.
We just had fun.
So much fun.
We just had fun. Background has her locked up in contract still. Yeah, we had feelings.
Which is crazy.
Which is so crazy and stupid. All right, Lisette, you want to say bye to the Show Business Live? This is the second episode of Show Business Live. The first one, you guys, like we said, was the podcast. You can check that out on all places where podcasts are listened. And then I was doing something cute. And then the quarantine said, click, clack, boom, hold your cuteness. And so I have some stuff that's on the shelf. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to go live and continue it.
It's better this way. It's like, it's just fun and relaxed. Everybody's at home on their phone. This is awesome.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad you're doing this too.
Thank you, boo.
You got to keep doing it, girl.
I'm going to keep doing it. I'm having fun. A lot of other things in the pipeline. Good. But same thing like you said, Lisette, just taking it day by day because we are in a serious mode. You know what I mean? We love you guys. I see Alyssa,
love you
Sienna,
all, miss
and
you
Luther.
All. Can't wait to
love
hug
you guys,
everybody,
Rena. Thank you guys so much.
For real, like hug. I need hugs.
Yes, hugs. Oh my gosh, Wayne. Yes, Janet. Boom. I'm giving you guys a hug. Let's say goodbye to everybody, and I love you guys.
Bye, everyone. You guys stay safe. I miss you all. Love you. Take care of yourselves and your families. You know, just keep being creative.
Keep making. All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Love you.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, guys. Love you. Love you, Lisette. See you guys later. Come back next week. Hey.
Show.